Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm bringing the 9th video in the JoyTangle series that I'm doing on my channel. If you've been following along, then you know that this is a Christmas themed Zentangle challenge that I hosted from the 1st to the 25th of December in 2024, and I created a list of 25 prompts so that we can all utilize one prompt every day leading up all the way to Christmas and create 25 beautiful festive projects. But I'm editing the videos much later because I was taking my own sweet time enjoying the holiday season and making my beautiful Zentangle tiles every day. But now I'm just putting up all the detailed tutorials. And today we are on day 9, which means that our prompt for today is a tangle called Ikat, which is from a German tangler, Indrani Novello. And if you're keen to check out the step outs for all the tangles that I'm going to be utilizing in today's project, then make sure that you look for the links in the description box below. I'm going to be putting them over there. And without further ado, let's just start talking about the project, and you can see me developing it while I explain my steps. So Ikat basically starts off with these wavy lines where they don't really need to perfectly align under each other, but you kind of just need to create sort of like a symmetrical look with the way the curves are going. So the best way to do that is to start off with dots, which can act as your anchor points, and then you kind of build your curves around that. And this is a great way to also practice your C stroke and your S stroke so that you can get better with curvy lines. So for this particular project, I'm going to be utilizing slightly thicker lines. I think in the original step out, there was a combination of thick and thin lines, but I'm going to do a slight variation of the tangle, and I'm going to be utilizing only thick lines right now. And you can see that once I've created that aura line, then I'm going back in and just sort of coloring it in. And I'm going to do that for all the 4 lines that I have created. Okay, so once I have those 4 lines colored in, then I'm going back in and adding some micro patterns inside those spaces. Now again, the original step out has a sort of symmetrical look to it because the pattern is actually inspired by Indonesian woven fabric, which also has the same name, Ikat. And you also see a lot of Ikat work in countries like India, where I'm from. So we basically have these prints which are laid out in a very symmetrical form between these lines. And that is how the step out for this tangle is also developed and explained in the link that I have put in the description box. But I am deviating from that a little bit, and I'm adding these micro patterns here and there randomly in those sections, almost like bubbles which are floating in a river. So it kind of gives a very water waves like effect with little bubbles over there. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I wanted to have a slightly more playful, childish, joyful, festive effect rather than going for the traditional look of the tangle. And even though the original tangle is very, very elegant and it's great for using with classic color palettes, I'm deviating from that, and I'm just basically adding my own touch to it. Now today's project is also going to be a mono tangle project, which means that I'm not going to be using another tangle on my tile, which is different from all the projects that I have done for the last 8 days in this series. In most of the projects that I've done, I've actually used a combination of at least 2 tangles. But in this particular case, I'm going to be using just 1 tangle, which is why this is a mono tangle project. Also, if you're hearing slight rain in the background, I'm sorry about that. Not in my control. It just suddenly started raining. So yeah, maybe you can enjoy that sound. So anyway, once my little bubbles were done, oh hey, I was talking about water and bubbles and it started raining. Fun coincidence. So anyway, once your bubbles are done, then we kind of flip the tile or rotate it rather. And then I start to add some thinner wavy lines. And this is the section where I'm going to be using the classic look of the tangle. So over here, I'm going to be drawing it very similar to the step out, the way it actually shows in the deconstruction. So over here, I'm actually doing the reverse, in the sense that I'm going to be making the wavy lines with the red pen first and then going back in and adding the details with green. Alright, so once the red lines are done, then I'm going back in with my green pen and I'm adding these teardrop like shapes, which as you can see now are very symmetrical in the placement, and this is very close to the original step out. So using a combination of symmetrical and asymmetrical variations of the same tangle in one composition, and yeah, just basically having fun. Next, I'm going back into those empty spaces and I'm using all the other colors from my palette to add in some details. And basically, I'm just adding a few more circles here and there, a few more dots, and basically just giving different variations to all the little bubbles over there. And now this is something that really depends on your personal aesthetic, because it's up to you how dense or how airy you want to make your composition. In my case, I'm making it pretty dense, and I'll actually just take you a little further ahead in the video to show you how much of those bubbles I added. And so over here, you can see that I've used lots of gold, lots of dark green, lots of red, lots of light green, and basically just created this joyful pattern. It honestly reminds me of wrapping paper for some reason. So yeah, just added in lots and lots of details over there. And then I'm utilizing my white pen to add in some dots in those green original lines that we had created. Next, I'm using my dark green pen and giving outlines to those red wavy lines that we had created. And because I love adding a lot of gold, I wanted to give this particular section a solid gold background. And so I went in and started to add that color over there. And this is how the gold background looks. I honestly love the way this particular tile turned out. And for a few more details, I decided to go in with my white jelly roll pen and added in some small lines inside those red sections. I also took my gold pen and just gave small outlines to those white dots that I had added on the green wavy lines. And because I wanted the lines to have a similar visual language, I went back in with my dark green pen and also gave these green lines a slight outline, very similar to how I had done it for the red wavy lines. And then just adding some finishing touches here and there. There were some spaces where I didn't do a very good job with the gold pen, so I went back in and did some touch-ups. And then also took my green pen and started to add some tiny dots to the white spaces. And again, just making it as dense as it can be. And then once again, taking the white pen and adding in some more details here and there. Now, as I always say with Zentangle tiles, it totally depends on how much love and how much attention you're giving to your tile. It depends from person to person. It depends on the time that you have, and it depends on your personal aesthetic. But yeah, generally speaking, the more time that you spend with your tile, the more opportunities you will see to embellish it, to decorate it, and to basically just make it more dense and pattern heavy. So yeah, over here, I'm just doing some finishing touches here and there. There are honestly no rules to this, and there's honestly no real explanation to why I'm doing this, except for the fact that I just like adding these tiny small details, and I find them very meditative and very therapeutic and very, very relaxing. So yeah, I'm just going back in and adding those details. And yeah, this is how the final tile shaped up. That gold is shining beautifully. And I'm going to start to remove the washi tape now. And yeah, that's the final look with the washi tape removed. You can see how the gold is beautifully shining in the light. I absolutely love the way this one turned out. Even though it's the same tangle, it creates these two different, separate, distinctive looks on my tile, and it almost looks like two different fabric swatches which are put together on the same tile. So I love the way this turned out, and I think I actually imagine this as a wrapping paper now, and I might just do a digital version of this. But anyway, if I do that, I'm definitely going to share it on the channel. And in case you are interested to see the rest of the videos for this series that I'm doing, then make sure that you check out the entire playlist that I have created. And for more videos, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be posting a lot more videos very, very soon. So till then, stay creative, keep creating, and take care.